What's up, guys? It is Tuesday, September 13th, and it is 9:55 a.m., and this is the market update. So we're going to dive into the dollar, the bond yields, stock market, total, and then total three, Bitcoin dominance, others dominance. We're going to get back to the basics and look at the bigger picture stuff. So we have the US dollar right now, and this morning we actually had a solid pop up in the dollar. It looked like we're about to break out in crypto, and then the dollar just out of nowhere just had a big impulse. And that was probably due to the inflation numbers coming out, or that's what they're saying, the reason why. But the inflation rate was pretty high, something around like 8 point something percent. But right now we can see the dollar. We want to see it not continue on this pace for sure. That was a pretty strong move. If we take the Fibonacci retracement from the top there to the bottom, we can see that the line in the sand that we want to get rejected by is that 110 level, because that's where the 702 and the 786 are. That's our last retracement level, and that's where if we do head up to that point, we want to get rejected by, come back down. I would like to see actually by like 12 o'clock this candle start to have a nice solid long wick on the top with a lot of selling pressure coming in. We can see that on the 12-hour chart with the void lines here that keep happening. Let me pull it up. So I'll remove this now. But we can see the void lines, that middle line that we're holding as support this whole way up, support, and then we broke through it back here. We just came back up to retest it as a resistance now, and it looks like you see the body of the candle kind of getting squashed down below it. It looks like we're getting some selling pressure from that point. So if we go on the 4-hour chart, you can see that's where the 200 MA on the 4-hour is as well too. I would like to see in an hour and 2 minutes this candle, the body to close below the EMA ribbon and the median line here. That would be a solid rejection point. But I actually do like this price action that we just saw, because we did have some gaps here, and it looks like, oh, we're so close to filling this one. We had one right here. We didn't fill it entirely. We did a little bit, but we filled the one back here. And then if I go to like a 30-minute, there's probably a few more. Yeah, we filled that one, and then there was this one, and let's see if there's any up here. Nope, there's none up here. So maybe I would actually like to see us have a impulse up just a little bit more to fill this gap, get rejected, come back down here, and really now we'll be able to have a smooth sailing down, because then we would have filled all the gaps up here. So that would be good, because now there's no more gaps to fill. We don't have to go up anymore and fill them. Now we can start our descent down. So that's what I want to see out of that. That gap is sitting around like 109.66, 109.7, and that's perfectly in line with, I think, one of the fibs, maybe the 618. Yeah, like the 618, a little bit above it. So around there. So that's where we want to get rejected by. And it doesn't necessarily mean that we do have to come up here and fill this gap. So that's not the case at all. But it is nice to come up and fill them if there is some. But it doesn't mean it necessarily has to fill it. So right now it looks like we're doing like a flag. So we have this coming down like that. And this is on a smaller time frame, coming down like that. So, but we're below the median line right here. I'd like to see us get rejected by this point, come back down to here, and then we'll have to see at that point 108.67 and then 108.25. We actually did breach below 108, and we're in the 107s earlier today, came back up to 109. So there's a lot of volatility, because even in the bond market's retesting those highs up there. So you can see where this dotted green line is at right now, and that's where basically the prior highs were at. So things could get pretty crazy real quick if this starts to break out and really starts to go on a tear, but not there yet. So 3.5%, that's the key level. I'm going to move this alert up so we know when if it gets hit. And yeah, so that's what I'm seeing. So you can see that we have that hidden bearish divergence still. We've been having this for so long now, ever since, if I go back a little bit, ever since around like September, well, the beginning of the month, But you can see that we're red in the MACD. We did get an uptick to green. We do see the stock RSI crossing up here. I'd like to see us get rejected by this median line. I'd like to see the pink come down, blue go up. And yeah, we can see that we're setting a new high here, but the RSI is setting another lower high. So we do have hidden bearish divergence. It's just a matter if it's going to play out now or not. All right, so then we have trend lines coming up like this. So we keep bouncing off that trend line. That's the key one, that if we break below it, then it's likely we topped in the bond yields. But then we have this resistance line that we keep pressing up against as well too. So that resistance line is sitting right where that prior top is right here. So if we do come up to it, I'd like to see a nice rejection from that level. So if we go to the 4-hour chart, you can see we're setting a new high, but we have a high, lower high right now. And then we had a high, higher high, higher high. So hidden bearish divergence playing out. It's just a matter of if it's going to really roll over right now. So that's what I'm seeing there. We got the NASDAQ 100, and this is a daily chart. But I'm going to go to a 4-hour. And you can see that we came up to try to get above the red moving average here, which is a 200-day moving average. And we got rejected from that point. And now we're on the 50 moving average, the green one right here. And I want to see that hold that support. Or if we come down, I want to see this void line, the bottom band, hold that support. And then we can pull this low to this high and see that where that bottom band is sitting at, the 786 retracement is at. So if we do come down there, I want to see us hold that level around 12,100, even like 12,000. If we fall to that level, that's the key level to hold. And then if I go to a daily chart, we're trying to cross up. We're trying to cross. You see the MACD going, and then we have a dark red coming in. So I don't want to see the day close like a candle like this. You don't want to see that. So that's what we want to watch out for. And then if we go to a 3-day chart, pull up this trend line. That's the key trend line to hold. I'm going to set an alert for that. So that's probably sitting at right where we were saying 12,000, 12,100. See, yeah, 12,000 right there. We want to hold that level 100%. We see the stock RSI, we're getting up here. Pink's trying to cross up. This could just be a fake out earlier in the day. And then later in the day, by the stock market close, we could be very well have a nice wick here and back up to these levels. We want to hold that median line. See, we have that alert right here. We got above it earlier in the day, but then we got a big rejection coming in. So, but this is not out of the normal. When we go into a downtrend and we're trying to get back into an uptrend, you'll have impulses up and a sharp kind of fall down, impulse up, sharp fall down, just like back here. Impulse up, sharp fall down, impulse up. You know what I mean? So it's not out of the normal. And then we got the total crypto market cap. And we're on the 4-hour chart. We're seeing that we got above the red moving average, came down and got slammed down to the green moving average, which is a critical level, looks like, if we're looking on the 4-hour chart. If I put a horizontal line here, right there, you can see that. I'm going to pull it down a little bit. And then I'm going to put another one right here. So this is our support zone. So when we had our sell-off back in June, we came back up to it, got rejected, got above it, tried to hold it as support, briefly kind of pierced it, went back up. Then over here, support, went below it, rejection, went to sell off, but it was a fake out, got above it. Now we're retesting it as support. So until we break that level around $960 billion, there's really nothing to worry about. And then if I put the Fibonacci retracement from this bottom to this top, we can see that the 618 is kind of right there, but the 786 brings us down to 927 billion. So let's kind of label that as well too, because worst case scenario, if we do fall below, then that's the level we want to hold. And that's another key level as well too, because when we sold off here, that's where we found support. When we got above here, we're trying to hold that support, but then when we got below, rejection, support, rejection, got above support. So like that's another key level as well. So those are the 3 levels we're watching: 981 billion, 960 billion, 925 billion. And then to the upside, we want to get above those prior highs over there. So like 1.03 trillion, that $1 trillion mark is very psychological. We want to get above that. Then we can see we'd have like an inverse head and shoulder. So shoulder, head, and then a shoulder playing out. That target would take us up to 1.18 trillion, which is the prior high back here. So it's that prior high back here. It would take us up to there. And then if I put a horizontal line right there, then we can see that we have a bigger pattern playing out. And I'm now going to hide these, go on a higher time frame, like a 12-hour chart. And then we could see that we have this trend line coming like this. And we would be doing like somewhat of an ascending triangle. So like something like that. We can go up like that. Or we could say it's like an Adam and Eve bottom. I wouldn't say Adam and Eve, but kind of like a W pattern playing out. And where would that take us, right? So let's see. So we'll take this low to this point right here. We'll drag it over. And that would bring us up to around 1.8 trillion. So let's see if that makes sense. If I take this local high where we started our downtrend to the low over here, and I pull it out, we can see the perfect symmetry lining up. That would take us right to that 786 retracement level, that last line in the sand. Then at that point, it's like, all right, are we just going to shoot through here and really just send it back up to over like $4 trillion market cap, retest these all-time highs back here in one straight shoot? Or are we going to consolidate a little longer, then do it? Or will this be a rejection point where then we'll fall back down, and then hopefully we create another higher low? Because then we'd have a low, a high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And then we'd really be building a strong base to go into a sustained bull market here. Yeah, so those are the scenarios that could play out. But you can see the symmetry lining up, where if we break this pattern here, it would take us up to here. If we break that pattern here, it would take us right up to there. It all makes sense. So that's what I could see playing out. Then if we go to total 3, this is all the cryptos besides Bitcoin and Ethereum. So basically the altcoins. And the level we want to hold for that is this low to this high. That'd be around 368 billion. We're at 381 billion right now. That'd be like a 5-10% drop if we did go down to those levels. And then we have this trend line as well too. Same one as the total crypto market cap. So that's perfectly kind of aligned with that level right there too, if we go down to 786. But it looks like we're getting a nice strong reaction right now, or trying to at least. If we go to the 1-hour chart, you can see that we're printing a green candle right now. We're trying to get up here and bounce from this level. We do see a lot of red in here, so it might take a little bit of time for this to get back up here. Or on the 30-minute chart too, a lot of red. This could just snap back right up though, so don't take that out of the cards. So if we go to the 15-minute chart, all right, now we're starting to curl back in. We have the dark red, we're going to white. Just like back here, dark red going to white. At least that would give us like a relief kind of bounce. But I would rather see us get back above the moving averages, the EMA ribbon, and just kind of fly at that point. I don't want to see us come up here, get rejected, come back down. If we do, we'd want to hold these lows and then have the EMAs come down and then break up. But yeah. So then let's go to Bitcoin dominance. And Bitcoin dominance came up to retest this horizontal line here. As we said, that could be the case. 30-minute chart, if I go down to the smaller time frames, we actually are below it right now, which is good. We're breaking the EMA ribbon down to the downside, and it looks like these void line mouths are opening up, so it means a strong move. So this could be a strong move to the downside. We could see this Bitcoin dominance start to roll over now. And then 40.80%, that's that level that if we hold, then we'll likely bounce up, maybe retest this level again. But I would like to see us break down from this point and then break down below this horizontal yellow line again. And that's around like 40%. And then we could probably safe to say that if we break down below this point, then we're really going on our rally. We had a long exit already. If we go to a 12-hour chart, and if I go to Heikin-Ashi candles, let me go to an 8-hour. I think I saw an 8-hour sell signal. I don't see anything yet. Let me go to swing trade here. So on the 6-hour chart, we got a long exit. We had it in right at this top right here at the top. Let's see if the other long exits kind of called it. This one kind of called it. We did come down, but we did kind of just grind our way back up till we had our real top. Let's see if there's any other ones. Long exit back here. So maybe we do have a little bit more grinding up to go, retest this horizontal line up here. But if we do see on the 6-hour chart this cross down, which is looking like it wants to, then I'd say Bitcoin dominance is toast and we're getting ready to go on an alt run. So that's what I see as far as that goes. There's a lot of resistance overhead here. Yeah, so let's go to others dominance. And we can see on the daily chart, we have this trend line, kind of like this, holding it to a T right now. This went from dark red to white on this candle. And then if I go to a 12-hour chart, it's probably really starting to curl in here. Yep, it looks good. So it's kind of similar to back here where we kind of went up, came down, and then rolled over. Kind of went up, came down, rolled over. Had the same similar action, the stock RSI. And I'd say we're at like this point right here where we've already found our bottom and we're going to chop around for a bit. And then we'll have a spike back up, probably retest like 13.27, 13.30%. And then at that point, I want to see us break up from it. Simple as that. And then the TSI, you can see it's squeezing close. We want to see that have a sharp cross up. Same with the MACD, same stock RSI and the pink line right here. And then we know we're good to go. So that's what I see as far as that goes. And we're sitting on a strong support level right now, or at least a previous support. So right back here, a lot of support. See about back over here. That was the level that when we got above here, we went into our altcoin run back in like August of 2021. So yeah, so that's what I see as far as that goes. And then if we go to the Bitcoin chart and we go to the 4-hour chart, yeah, this is a rising wedge pattern. Actually, let me hide this Fibonacci right now. So rising wedge pattern like this, usually when you see those break down, they actually retest kind of right where it started to form the rising wedge. So it's nothing kind of out of the ordinary here. When we broke down and we're just retesting where we should retest, kind of similar to back here if we're looking at like fractal patterns. I'll go to a smaller time frame since this played out smaller, but you have a rising wedge like that. It breaks down, retests where the rising wedge forms, and then it goes back up. So similar thing. This is just playing out on a bigger scale. You have a rising wedge, break down from it right where the rising wedge started to form, and we're on a 1-hour chart. We have the 200 MA sitting right there. Looks like we're bouncing from that level. So all looks good right there. I do believe cryptos are gonna go on a massive run. I don't think we're gonna just break back down here, but we'll have to watch it during the day. Who knows? So let's go to the 12-hour chart of Ethereum. And the merge is coming up either today or tomorrow or the next day. But we'll have to see how that plays out. We have this trend line like this, holding it right now. We're in bullish territory. Stock RSI is coming down here, but we could hold support on this median line. And let's go to the 3-day. 3-day chart. Okay, this is pretty big. So 3-day chart, we are testing the green moving average right now. Last time we tested it was back up here. We got rejected by it and we went down a lot. We came up to retest it back middle of August, got rejected, came back down, and now we started to rally back up. We're testing it again, got rejected on the first try, but maybe by the end of the week, we actually come back up here and actually break through it. So that will be a key thing that if we do, and let me actually pull this trend line out because it actually stretches farther like that. If we can break above that green moving average, then we're gravy, because like that means we're breaking above the EMA ribbon. This is what I want to see play out. I want to see us break above the green moving average, come up here to the 200 MA, break above that, break above the red moving average here around like 2600, 2700. Then if we hold this as support, Ethereum's going to fly, because we'll be breaking out of this pattern here. We can measure that out. That could take us to like $4,000. And that's so close to the prior all-time high that like Ethereum will just start to moon at that point. And if Ethereum's mooning, then altcoins are mooning, because Ethereum's kind of leads the altcoin rallies. So we want to see that happen. We just want to see it. And we can see how this green moving average and the EMA ribbon has played so well as far as the ETH chart goes, because when we break above, we hold the EMA ribbon as support. We're in a bull market. When we break below and we get rejected by the green moving average and the EMA ribbon, it's a bear market. Simple as that. So if we get above here, then we can say, safe to say, based off of history, we're back in a bull market, right? So that's what I'm looking out for, guys. That is the market update. I'm going to be watching the charts all day today, see if anything funky is going on. I'll let you guys know. And I'll be doing a newsletter. So I'll see you in that video.